One of my clients made a fateful mistake one Friday night that ended up sabotaging her attempts to lose weight for the rest of the year. This was definitely not what she intended, and in fact she didn't even realize that this was what had happened until a year later when she saw me at the clinic. In this video, I'm going to share with you what that mistake was, how we discovered it, and how you can avoid making that same mistake as well. And what this video will show is that sometimes you can make a simple, preventable mistake that can set in motion a cycle of behavior that ends up undermining your weight loss for months and sometimes even longer. So let me tell you the story of my client. Let's call her Jenny. And Jenny came and saw me at my weight loss clinic. And as with all clients who come to see me, I asked Jenny to keep a food diary. And the food diary, basically writing down everything you eat and drink, is useful for all sorts of reasons, but one of the main reasons is that if you track people's eating behavior over time, you can spot patterns. And this is where a food diary, especially when you get someone else to look at it, can help you to uncover things that you didn't even realize were happening and were holding you back. So Jenny had quite a stressful job at an investment bank, and for the year prior to meeting me, she'd been actively trying to lose weight and not getting anywhere. In fact, her weight seemed to be increasing at an alarming rate despite what she was doing. So when I looked over a food diary in the first couple of weeks, and a very common pattern you see in food diaries is people lose weight over the week and then indulge more over the weekend and therefore just gain back the weight they lost during the week. But Jenny's wasn't like that. She seemed to have bad weekends, but then the weekdays weren't that much better, which accounted for why her weight was increasing. And looking even further, it appeared that this pattern of behavior originated from something that had happened a year ago that had caused a cycle of behavior that ended up undermining Jenny's efforts to lose weight. So what was happening? It was all related to stress. Jenny had changed jobs a year ago and her new job was very stressful and busy. But it turned out she was doing something that was making the job even more stressful. So what was happening was Jenny would come home from work on a Friday night after a really stressful week and she would want to relax. So she'd have a few drinks to relax, but after you've had a couple of glasses of wine, it disinhibits your food choices and you start eating things you normally wouldn't eat, and often in larger quantities. So the next day, Saturday, Jenny would wake up not feeling great, and then to unwind some more, she'd have a few more drinks. And this is the kicker, because of what had happened on Friday and Saturday night, Jenny would go back to work on Monday feeling tired and low in energy, and she would end up getting very little work done on Monday. And then, on Tuesday, she would have 5 days of work that needed to get done in 4 days, which obviously created a lot of extra stress. And so she'd end up home on Friday night after that week, stressed out, exhausted, and she would use alcohol and food to unwind again. And so the cycle continued. Stressful week, indulge to recover, Monday wiped out, squeeze 5 days of work into 4, stressful week, rinse and repeat. And the result was, because of a mixture of indulgence over the weekend and tiredness during the week, Jenny's eating was also all over the place, which resulted in her struggling to lose weight and indeed steadily gaining weight. But the interesting thing here is that it all began a year ago from one decision. In the first or second week of her new job, Jenny got home on a Friday night and made the decision to unwind from the stress with a glass of wine that actually ended up creating the behavioral spiral that she was in now. So what was the solution? Obviously, break the cycle. Although alcohol and food are very easy ways to unwind on a Friday night, they were having massive negative consequences on Jenny's life. So the solution was A. Have awareness of what was happening, which she now did. B. Choose different ways to unwind over the weekend that didn't sabotage the rest of the week. And C. Find ways to manage her workload at work. Obviously, not being exhausted on Monday morning helps, but I've had enough clients over the years who created problems for themselves simply with the way they approach their work. For instance, not delegating enough, scheduling meetings back to back with no breaks, taking on too much responsibility to prove to others they could do the job, and not prioritizing their well-being. Now, these are all things that appear unrelated to weight loss, but they're vital to it. As I often say to clients, everything in your life affects eating, and eating and drinking affects everything in your life. So as Jenny broke the cycle, and with other changes we made to her eating habits, she ended up losing 16 kilos, so about 35 pounds, which was great. But one of the other main things Jenny did was by cutting back her eating portions. And there's a way to do that without using willpower. Check out this video to learn more. And I'll see you there.